women are asked to be beautiful, and their value is established by their beauty. And men can get old and ugly, and it doesn't matter. I should say that my instrument is my woman's body. We are all performing all the time, regardless of whether we are performance artists. We are performing for the benefit of our internal audience. We're performing for the benefit of an external audience. We're performing for the benefit of a historical view of our practice. It gave me permission to act in a conscious and explicit way and document that action. And so my work is photo, text, and video, and live performance. This is my practice. I know perfectly well I can't change the world, but I am trying to change the world anyway. This is a very early work of Martha Wilson. It's called Posturing, and I'm in drag. I am dressed in drag so that the transformation is from female into male, back into female, February 1972. Picture by Doug Waterman. This piece, called Captivating a Man, is based on a famous photograph by Man Ray of Marcel Duchamp as Rose C'est la Vie. And this is my beautiful artist boyfriend with whom I moved to Canada in 1969. Theoretically, the perfect set is located in the center. This is a result of living in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Even though I was enrolled in the English program at Dalhousie University, I was hanging out with the kids who were way cooler at the art college, and all the conceptual artists of the day were coming through the art college. One of them was Saul LeWitt. It's called Beauty Beastly. It's about how women are judged by their appearance. This is a work called Invisible, and you can barely find me in this store, and that's me. And the piece comes out of walking around in Brooklyn as a gray-haired old lady. So I wanted to do a piece called Invisible and show the world what it's like to not exist somehow as a body, as a person. George H.W. Bush was elected, and I started to do Barbara Bush. Martha Wilson couldn't be here tonight for Avant-Garde Rama. So even though Jenna's getting married today, I agreed to perform on her behalf. I am Barbara Bush, ex-First Lady of the United States. Wife and confidant of George Herbert Walker Bush. This is Bill Clinton. I let my hair grow out gray. I gave it a cut as Bill Clinton and did a piece with a portrait of myself and a portrait of Bill Clinton next to each other. When Donald Trump was elected, I tried to go into his brain and understand what made him tick, and I couldn't find any there, as Gertrude Stein might have said. So I come out as Donald, dressed as Donald, but then I explain that I'm really Martha Wilson performing as Donald Trump. And then I talk about the political changes that I've seen in the last 50 years as being a performance artist. The United States is still milk and honey to me. How did I become an artist? My family was comprised of a farm girl, that was my mother, and a sailor, that was my father. And the farm girl had a Quaker family that went back for hundreds of years. And the Quakers, as you may know, don't believe in decoration, and art is considered to be frilly behavior, not serious behavior like planting and praying. And so my mother was a pretty good artist, and she asked her family if she could go to art school instead of go to high school. So she became a designer, and then the Second World War came along. My father was an architect, but he was in the radar department, which was next door to the design department. And then one day the whole office went to the Jersey Shore, and went swimming. My father saw my mother in a bathing suit, and his attitude changed. So they got married. I was born on a houseboat. The floor of the houseboat was very, very cold because it's right on the water. So my father, the architect, built what is called a Skinner box. It's a baby crib that's at the level of a cabinet with sliding glass doors. And I was in there. And so many years later, my therapist told me that I had to perform to get my mother to come over and pick me up. Here we have the proposed laughing cow design. And this is an English, in America. This is a package bought in America. And the differences are few, but I'm going to guide you through them. So my laughing cow has a blonde wig, false eyelashes, blue eyeshadow, pink lipstick, but the same earrings as the original laughing cow. And it will say rire ou imploser. I agree. I like how you gave yourself a lot of options so you could really play different.
I did two versions.
Okay.
Because I was
2 versions.
Yeah, because I was not sure. Like, what you would tell me. I changed.
You changed the earrings
lips.
and the lips.
Yes, and the earrings.
Yes.
And so.
And you made the earrings the same color as the headband. Which
Yeah.
is, I love the bow.
Yes.
I love the emerald earrings, the lips with the glint on them, eyeshadow and eyelashes. Merci beaucoup. I think we're done. I want it to look like the regular packaging except for the blonde wig and the blue eyeshadow and pink lipstick. And so now we have been in discussion with the design folks about this, and now I'm thinking I want it to look closer to the original, so I want the blue to be white and the original to be replaced with rire ou imploser. The purpose of this project, as far as I'm concerned, is to make real art available to people eating cheese. We're at the Museum of Modern Art in the reading room of the library. And we're here to look at items from the Museum of Modern Art, Franklin Furnace Artist Book Collection. When you look at a sculpture, you're outside the work of art. You can walk around it, but basically you are looking at an object that is outside of yourself and your own experience. Whereas when you look at an artist's book, you are inside the book and you can understand the ideas that inspired it and perhaps be influenced by those ideas that inspired it. So it's an intimate experience. It can be a political experience. It can be a social experience. It's absorbed over time. Time being the essential medium that is being used by the artist's book. This is my artist's book published in 1975, Truck, Fuck, Muck. This is the first story. While on vacation in Canada, Martha hitchhiked from McBride, British Columbia to Edmonton, Alberta. Her first ride was with a young Canadian National Railways executive. Her second ride was with Bud and Ed, truck drivers, who were driving their 48,000-pound truck from Vancouver to Edmonton. Fuck. So presented on the left side of the page. Actually, this story is about getting laid by a truck driver. So we went to a motel, Bud was gone, and so we had sex. Final chapter, you have to turn the book upside down. So it's really a story about my father, how every story is embedded in your upbringing and your belief system and your religion and your behavior and sexuality. And am I acting as somebody else, not me? Is that the question? I think we all do this all the time. When I'm home and I'm staring in my computer, I'm acting. I think we do make up the character that suits the circumstances that we're occupying. Franklin Furnace was founded in 1976. The idea was that women are equal to men, and why don't the men admit this? So I decided to open Franklin Furnace, a not-for-profit organization, to collect artists' books. The gallery and museum system was not paying any attention to what the downtown community was doing. The downtown community was publishing artist books, doing performance art on the street, postering, doing political action. So I decided to open a bookstore and a place to preserve artist books and to show what came to be known as time-based practice. And the downtown community, in a couple of years after that, started to participate in the no-wave music scene. I didn't know how to play an instrument, but I wanted to participate in the music scene, so I called up all my friends who were, short on skills but long on concept, and we started this band, the all-girl band of women artists who couldn't play any instruments. This is the Redneck song.
You take my form and have it duplicated. Chinchilla, 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 chinchilla. I'm gonna take chinchilla. I'm gonna take chinchilla. I'm gonna take everything you've got.
It's a disease you can't see. It's a disease you can't flee. It's a powerful strain.
I think I got my sense of humor from my father, and it's it's important. It enabled disband to be a success, to complain about nuclear power, but to also make fun of ourselves and make fun of the society that we occupy. Welcome to Franklin Furnace.
I will bite into that strawberry just
In these boxes are our artist book collection. In this aisle are the event records. So every artist who did a performance art work, did an installation work, did an event in relation to Franklin Furnace. Now that we are virtual, we're doing virtual events. Every single artist gets a file. The file, you can see it's pretty full. There was a lot going on. This is the announcement for the Carnival Knowledge Show. There were so many people in the street, on Franklin Street, for the opening that the traffic couldn't move down the street. And the premise of the show was to ask if there could be such a thing as feminist pornography. This is Hardcore Up. And what does it say? It says, New Ancient Sex Academician. If an artist has published it in an edition and gives us copies, we consider it to be an artist book, even if it doesn't have conventional page structure. There is a connection between the Laughing Cow box and the artist book field, because it's a work of art that is produced in multiple and distributed widely for people to understand. Hopefully they will laugh. I want them to laugh. I believe laughter is a way to get ideas across to people whom you don't know.
Okay, thank you.
On Fifth Avenue,